What's going on, Dodger fans? And thanks for tuning in to season 2 of Chalking It Up. I'm Ant.
And I'm Carlos, a.k.a. Desert Doyer.
And yes, season 2, we know we stopped filming last season a little early or abruptly. But we're back. It's 2025. We're excited. What a busy offseason it's been. We can't wait to talk about it. We know we're a little behind. But before we get into that, we definitely want to take some time just to express, thoughts and prayers out to those affected in the LA wildfires. We have family and friends that live out there. So, hopefully, everything is okay. And we wish for a speedy recovery for all you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Stay safe out there, guys. I know the fires are still going on right now. So stay safe.
Yeah, guys. But hey, if this doesn't brighten your mood, if this doesn't get you excited, for the city of LA to look something forward to, it's opening day. It's Dodger baseball, and it's that time of year. We're excited here at the Morales household, and yeah, man, we can't wait to get it going. So a little bit of how today's show is going to run down. We're just going to go over how our offseason has been, how upset other fan bases, other owners, just the sports world losing their mind on what the Dodgers are doing out there transaction-wise.
Yep. Ruining baseball.
I think it's great for the sport, to be honest. We need a new villain. Everybody was tired of being against the Yankees. But hey, man, again, a quick little rundown of how the offseason has transpired for the Dodgers and really what the outlook at the end of it is going into spring training. So, hey, a couple of dates here, Pops. November 29th. We extend Tommy Edman to a 5-year, $74 million extension.
That's a good deal.
I think that's a steal.
That is a steal. Definitely for what he does. I like the deal.
Shortstop, center field, solid at bat,
switch hitter.
That's NLCS MVP. Yeah. So I mean, again, I think that was a great trade for us. Moving on, the day later, this is kind of where you started shocking the world. November 30th, we signed Blake Zilla.
Yes.
To a 5-year, $182 million deal.
How much money was deferred?
Oh, that one I'm not sure. We'll get into
deferrals a little bit later, but yeah, that signing right there was big.
Broke the internet, broke the league.
Because we needed a left-hander.
We did.
We needed a left-hander starter. All we had was righties, and we needed a solid. So it was between Burns and
Snell and Fried.
Yes,
Snell and Fried. And Fried signed with the Yankees. I'm not sure what his name was. But those were the top 2 lefties out there on the market. And I didn't even know that was a possibility for us, to be honest with you. I didn't think we were getting that type of tier.
I wished it was. I hoped it was. But it's always you at the start of free agent, you always want the best. You think you can grab everybody, right?
But that you think of Snell, you think of Fried, you think we were in it, kind of like the Soto thing. We weren't really in it, but again, we just got to show we're the Dodgers.
We're the Dodgers.
We got to show
we're in. We're in.
So that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
I didn't think the Snell was a possibility, and again, that one that pissed a lot of people off. It did.
I think what shocked me was how soon it was.
Yeah, I mean,
because last year he waited. He didn't sign until
it wasn't him. That was Scott Boris's fault.
Well, he didn't sign until almost mid spring training, so kind of delayed his start.
Yeah,
So this year I thought maybe he was gonna sign December when the winter meetings was going on. But he signed way early.
November 30th, man. He didn't want to wait. He wanted to know. He wanted to get comfortable. He wanted to plant his roots for the next 5 years. So I mean, that's an exciting signing.
Yeah.
December 10th, we signed Michael Conforto to a 1-year, $17 million, or excuse me. No, yeah, it was a $17 million deal. That one kind of threw me off a little bit, especially because I know we're in the hunt for Teo at this point. So this one kind of starts raising flags like, damn, are we going to lose out on Teo?
Yes, I still don't like the signing, but
it's not the worst.
It's not the worst, but it's like you said. Are we out of Teoscar Hernandez?
Yeah.
Because he's taking up a spot. And he's taking up a roster spot.
Yeah.
So that kind of that one shocked me. What?
Shocking, scary, because again, you don't want to lose Teoscar Hernandez, especially after the year that he had with us. on that 1-year deal. A couple hours later, we re-signed Blake Trinan to a 2-year, $22 million deal, $11 million a year. Great pickup because that guy did his damn job in the playoffs, in the World Series. So that one, I was really excited to bring him back and
solidify the bullpen.
And he expressed how excited he was because, you know, he felt like the Dodgers really gave him a chance to go through his rehab after missing a couple of years, and we never gave up on him either. So.
I mean, the Dodgers have given everybody an opportunity. We sign guys that are injured, they go through a rehab, and they're getting paid.
Yeah, and sometimes not even paid by us anymore. Sometimes, you know, it works out somewhere else. But that happened December 10th. Now, January 3rd, finally get the news, Teo is back. I can't tell you how exciting that was. For one is because he embraced being a Dodger, being a Latino. That's one thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is just how well he related to not only the fan base, but just being that high energy guy. Even from spring training last year when he's on the Dodger social media and he's talking to Shohei saying, you know, hola fanático, like that dude, that it's amazing. That's just an amazing teammate you want to be around. So I was really excited for that.
You know what? It's like you once in a while you run into two guys that want to be on your team. And Teo's that one guy that he said it since day one when we first signed him, through spring training, through the regular season, through the playoffs, in the parade. I want to be a Dodger.
Yeah, he understood the risk that he took signing a 1-year deal. He even said it in his press conference. He turned down not a lot of money, but he turned down higher offers.
Yeah,
this is where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
So we re-signed Teo for 3 years, $66 million. Again, we won't get into the deferrals until another episode and kind of break down how that worked. Again, later that day, we ended up signing the second baseman from the Korean national team, Hyung-Sung Kim. And then we got him for 3 years, 12.5.
At first, I thought it was a surprise. I thought we got the guy from San Diego.
I did too. And I was like, okay, cool. Mookie might not be playing shortstop. But this guy apparently plays shortstop too. Yeah. I'm not familiar with his game. I started watching highlights as soon as we signed him. Solid guy. He doesn't hit for power. He's more on base. He's known for stealing bases. And his defense. Again, this is where you start raising eyebrows because again, and we're not there we'll get to it. We still have Gavin on the roster at this point.
Yeah, and
you knew the trade was inevitable.
Picking him up, you kind of knew that Gavin was hanging on by a finger because now you have a guy. Now you have Mookie coming to short.
Officially.
You have Rojas at short.
Tommy Edman can play a little short, but he's been confirmed as a center fielder.
Yeah, and now you have another guy that's gonna play second base.
Yeah.
In Kim, and now you're like Gavin.
There's only so many spots.
Your days are counted. Your days are numbered.
And they were because 3 days later we traded him to the Reds. Now I will be the first to say thank you, Gavin, because he did have a solid postseason. He had a couple clutch at bats in the NLDS against the Padres. He had a solid at bat in that comeback win in Game 5 of the World Series. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, hey, but I knew I was riding your ass hard. But at the end of the day, there's only 9 positions on that field.
There's 26 spots, 26 roster spots, and I mean, I love Gavin.
I know you did.
I love Gavin Lux, but
he's still. Hey,
I wanna upgrade.
Down the road. He's only good here.
I wanna upgrade. I wanna win another World Series. So whatever has to be done.
Yeah, man. At this point, if you don't trade anybody that's like a cornerstone, an MVP like a Freddie, Mookie, Shohei, again, that's your core, and that's who we got to build around. And sometimes you got to sacrifice, some fan favorites right now. Speaking of fan favorites, Kike's still a free agent. We're just going to shout that out there. Let's try to bring him back. Playoff Kike.
He's coming back.
Playoff Kike is a real thing. I've been telling this guy all of last year, all throughout the playoffs. We need Kike Hernandez. This one was kind of a little shocking, but not really. We traded Diego Cartaya, a one-time top prospect in our farm system.
Again, we had to make room.
For pretty much a box of Cheerios. We had mentioned this a couple of episodes ago. Your farm system, we're known for having a great farm system, but it's not a good idea to hold on to everybody because this is the exact same reason. We didn't get the same value that we could have gotten from him a couple of seasons ago.
Well, it's like I think we mentioned it. It's like we can't hang on to guys.
No.
Because there's people. There's Will Smith. Will Smith's locked in for how many years?
9 more years. 9 more years.
9 years. Okay.
Yeah. We just signed him to a 10-year deal last year.
We have Dalton Rushing right now, the number one prospect, the catcher.
And I think we got to get rid of him too.
Now he's learned to play the outfield at too, because you have to learn to play multiple positions because you don't know where you're going to come up.
Yeah.
So right now, Will Smith is the catcher. Maybe in a few years when Austin Barnes is gone, now you can bring him as a backup catcher, but he's So we'll see. But again, like you said, we can't hang on to these prospects forever, because we're not those Dodgers anymore.
Yeah.
We're not those Dodgers where we're dependent on James Loney, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, all those rookies to come in and fill spots and help us out to the playoffs. Because now we have Shohei Ohtani. Now we have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez. I can go on. I can go on and on and on and on, and we just can't hang on to these prospects.
Guys, we're in win now mode. We're in the era of Shohei Ohtani.
Well, we're in win now, win tomorrow, win in a few years. But if you're not helping us out,
you're gonna help us out via trade because we're gonna get some all-star level guys for prospects. This is kind of the one that pissed a lot of people off. It's kind of like Thanos. It's inevitable. Roki Sasaki signs January 22nd.
Well, it didn't piss off Dodger fans.
No. It
pissed off everybody else
that wasn't a Dodger fan.
Yeah.
I think this one pissed off a lot of people in that Roki's agent said, I'm opening the playing field to everybody. Everybody has a chance to sign Roki Sasaki. He's going to sign for a minor league deal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he wasn't signing for the top dollar.
Like Yamamoto did.
Like he wasn't out there shopping, hey, who's going to give me the most money? Because basically, I think it was only Toronto and San Diego that could offer him they had the most money to spend. Not
international money.
They had the most international money to spend. And then San Diego, the day before he signed, traded away and got $2 more million.
Yeah.
In the acquisition. Actually, it was Toronto, I think. I think it was Toronto. I'm not sure who it was. But they grabbed $2 more million. And the Dodgers were only, the max they had was 6.5. Yeah.
6.5 is
somewhere around there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody's complaining, the Dodgers had a backdoor handshake, secret handshake. It wasn't that. To me, it wasn't that because the Dodgers have been scouting Roki
since he was in high school
for a long time. Mm-hmm. I've told you about him. When I first heard about Roki Sasaki, I was like, man, this is the guy we need. And then I heard that he wanted to play for the Dodgers.
Right.
Then it comes out that, he has a good relationship with Yu Darvish, which Yu Darvish hates the Dodgers. Tried to recruit Ohtani. He tried to recruit Yamamoto. He tried to recruit Sasaki. He failed. He didn't get any of them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's the Dodgers. Who doesn't want to go? Let's just forget the name. Let's just forget the name Dodgers. Who doesn't want to go to the team that's investing in the team, that's winning championship in the playoffs year after year after year? Who doesn't want to go to that?
Right. And again, guys, we understand we've only won 2 World Series in the last 5 years. And a lot of people, a lot of haters, don't count 2020.
Don't count 2020, yeah.
Every player that you talk to will say that's the hardest championship, whether it was in the NBA or MLB. That was one of the hardest championships to win. The Dodgers offer consistency. They offer the development that you see time and time again. We had mentioned earlier, there's players that other organizations have given up on, like a Max Muncy. We turned that around. There's been countless times where we can bring in somebody, revive their career. Hey, he wants to come to an established team. He knows he's also not going to have to be the guy.
Yeah.
We got Tyler Glass now. You have Blake Snell. You got Yamamoto, which he's about to be even better this year.
Yeah.
You got Shohei coming back from injury. Clayton will eventually sign and come back and be a part of the rotation.
And then you have other guys that can fill in the spots till those guys come back. Tony Austin, Dustin May, Bobby Miller.
Yeah.
We're stacked.
The list goes on and on.
We're stacked.
But that's why the league is pissed off. That's why fans of other fan bases are pissed off, is because we are that stacked. And apparent, we'll get into it, but they just think it's unfair. This is where, again, like, you think the Dodgers are done. We had Tanner Scott the day later to 4 years, $72 million. Again, deferred money, but now you have an amazing bullpen, which they were already fabulous in the damn playoffs. And a lot of those guys, teams had given up on. Michael Kopech from the White Sox. They didn't think he was any good. We got him in a trade. Alex Vesia stepped up. Anthony Banda. Nobody even knew who he was. And now he's a Dodger fan favorite.
And I want to add, I didn't want him on the team at the beginning of the year.
I didn't know who he was.
I hated him because he played with the D-backs. He was terrible, but man, did he prove us wrong.
No.
He shut me up.
And then a couple of days later, or I think the next day, it's not confirmed yet, it's not official, but we signed Kirby Yates from the Rangers.
Wow.
So it's like, you understand, again, as a Dodger fan, you're excited. But as a Dodger fan, there comes the reality of, hey, it's time to put up or shut up. And we can't, the hardest part about all these signings is going to be, hey, the pressure of, we do have to repeat now. We have to win multiple World Series. Especially sure. the contract links, the deferred money of over $1 billion.
You know, I don't think I mentioned it to you, but the window was getting smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this off season, that window was open up again. That season was that window for championships has busted open and said, hey, we're here to win not one, but multiple championships.
Yeah, guys.
Now I'm not saying we're gonna be like the Padres, like the Pobres, that were not one, not two. No, we're not saying that. But what we're saying is that we want to be in contention to be in the playoffs year in and year out. Year in and year out, we want to be in the playoffs. The Dodgers organization wants to be in the playoffs and they want to win multiple championships, not just one.
No, guys.
They're not happy with just the two that they won already.
No. I don't think anybody is, as long as you got that Dodgers logo across your chest. Again, we go out and did all these signings. We had a lot of injuries last year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not the only Dodger fan that I'm sure was afraid in that Padres series when we went down 2-1. I'm not. But Jack stepped up.
Oh, he did.
Yama stepped up.
Uh-huh.
And that bullpen carried us.
Yep.
You guys got to think, we had River Ryan go down. We had Gavin Stone go down. Clayton Kershaw went down again. Like, dude, it's
our injury. And our bullpen was like, Grotto was down. May was out. Yeah. It was like guy after guy after guy after guy. And you're like, man, we have a whole new pitching rotation on the IL.
Again, guys, we understand that there's an even bigger target on the Dodgers back this year. But we've embraced that role. I think, especially with all the money that we're spending, whether it's deferred or you're paying it up front, and we'll get into how the deferral works and why your team isn't doing it. If you're not a Dodger fan and you're like, oh, this is unfair, this is BS, let me explain to you how the deferral process works.
Please.
Just to dumb it down a little bit, because I didn't understand. And this is all verified by Ken Rosenthal on his podcast and then on other people's podcasts, Foul Territory, Fair Territory. The way that deferral money works, and we're going to use Blake Snell's contract, for example, 5 years, 182. The Dodgers have to present this to the MLB. They have to show their bank statement saying, hey, you can afford the 182 right now to pay him each year, however you break up the 5 years worth. As long as the MLB, the Dodgers, and Blake Snell and his representation agree to whatever they're going to get up front and the deferral money at the end, all those three, they have to agree to it. But we have to show that we have the funds right now to pay him. And now this is where the Dodgers are smart, and this is what separates us from a Yankees team that's owned by one guy, or the Mets that are owned by Steve Cohen, or the Diamondbacks that are owned by just the one guy. We are owned by a group of people, billionaires, the Guggenheimer Group.
Yep.
They are what the MLB world calls as hedge fund people. Whatever money they're deferring, they're taking it, they're reinvesting it, and they're making more money off of it. So they're not afraid of paying high up front, defer later. They're allowed to grow their money. And again, that's why the Dodgers are allowed to do what they do, because we're not just owned by one guy and one checkbook. We're owned by a bunch of billionaires.
There's a bunch of guys in there. I mean, Magic Johnson, the tennis lady, Billie Jean King.
Yeah.
So many guys.
We are ran by a group. If the Diamondbacks or the Reds, they all got money too. They own a team. they choose not to do it this way. They're financially they're not allowed to because they don't have that money yet in their book until they play some team like the Dodgers or the Yankees.
It's like Shark Tank. Everybody has a little piece of the pie. Everybody has a percentage of ownership in the Dodgers.
It's like Monopoly, guys. Yeah, it's easy the first couple of rows, and then you get to Park Place and the Dodgers and New York, and it's just it's a different ball game. But the Dodgers aren't doing anything illegal. This isn't bad for baseball. I think it's good for baseball personally.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, like you said, we're owned by a group. Everybody invested their money in there, and they're gonna get their money back.
And it's okay to do that.
The Dodgers are the one team that have the biggest TV contract out there.
Yeah,
biggest TV contract. Just in TV money, I think they're getting over 300 million,
something like that.
Every year for the next, I don't know how many years, 20 years.
Yeah, 12 or 18.
Yeah, so
something like that.
And that's that. Not everybody sees. Not everybody gets sports spectrum.
Yeah, Bally's. Bally's was that sports, and they kind of went under
bankrupt, and that's where the Pobres don't have a TV contract. The Diamondbacks don't have a TV contract.
So I mean, it's that's the way deferred money works. Can your ownership group do what the Dodgers are doing? Absolutely, but they choose not to. Some owners are okay with giving minimum and getting a lot back in return.
Like let's say the Pirates.
Yeah.
Where you're just investing the minimum and then you're getting money from the top from the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets that have to pay those penalties and spread the wealth between everybody else. So that's free money for them. And they're not investing anything. So that's what sucks. And rules are going to change.
Because I'm sure they're going to put a Dodger rule in effect.
There should be a... At first, I was like, no cap. There shouldn't be a cap in baseball.
No. We play the most games out of any sport. You at that point, you're doing a disservice to the players because they're out there trying to compete for 162 games compared to an NBA season where there's only 82, an NFL season where there's only 18.
18 games, yeah.
And not everybody makes the playoffs. The Dodgers play 162 plus however many games it takes to hoist that trophy at the end of the year. It's not fair to put a salary cap. Now, should there be a salary minimum where an owner is forced to say, hey, I got to get my payroll to this. If not, I'm going to be penalized? Yes. Or the penalty should be, hey, Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, you don't have to give them money because, hey, they didn't meet the threshold of the bare minimum. Yeah. That's the type of rule we should implement. Yeah. Because it's not fair that we're just a loyal fan base. Alone on that TV deal, the Dodgers make a lot of money. Then you got to think jersey sales, merchandise. We pay a lot of damn money for a michelada and a hot dog at Dodger Stadium nowadays. But we pay that.
Prices
we're loyal.
Are going up.
Yeah, we want to
Prices
see.
Are going up.
We want to see the product on the field. We're about to drop almost $1,000 on 2 tickets for opening day.
Opening day, baby. Let's
go. I mean, I don't know. It's been in question again. Are what the Dodgers doing fair? I think yes.
It's fair.
Will there be rules that change?
If other teams don't like it,
start spending.
It's like let's say for example the Pobres. The Pobres had the owner Peter. I don't know
something with an S.
Something with an S. Yes. Sorry that I don't know his name.
Rest in peace, man.
That's not my team.
Yeah, we don't.
The guy said, "Hey, we're gonna invest our money, and we're gonna go out there and get guys."
Yeah.
Well, they did. They got Manny Machado. They went out there and they were
trading. Got Juan Soto.
They were trading for everybody, right? And they were trading the farm system away. They said, "We don't care. We want to win now. We want to compete against the Dodgers."
Yep.
And they did it. Well, unfortunately, the Peter passed away.
Yeah.
And now his brothers are the owners.
And his wife is fighting.
And his wife is suing them because she wants to be the owner.
Yeah. And
this offseason, how much have they spent?
Nothing.
0.
They've lost Tanner Scott.
They lost Profar. They lost, I forgot what the guy's name is.
The Luis Ariz?
No, he's still with them.
He's a free agent.
No, Luis Ariz is still with them.
Is he?
Yeah, Luis Ariz is still with them. But they lost like two guys from the 3 guys from the bullpen. They lost Kim. He hasn't come back yet. Yeah, he's still a free agent. Profar is in Atlanta now.
And again, that's why Sasaki didn't sign there for that reason.
Whose fault is it?
Yeah,
is it the Dodgers' fault?
We have stability. You that's like you saying you want to join a toxic relationship. Like, oh yeah, it's okay. She has a couple bad traits. I'm okay with it. No, You want somebody that, hey, they got their stuff together. They're going to compete year in and year out. We're going to be in the playoffs, and I don't have to be the number one guy right now because I'm only 23.
Oh man,
Again.
23, and we got him for 6 more years.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I think it's good for baseball. He thinks it's good for baseball. Baseball doesn't think it's good for baseball. At least not the majority of ex-players and other owners that are going to complain that, oh, the Dodgers are cheating. We're not cheating because it's all within the rules. It's all within the rules.
But a few years ago, when the Yankees were doing it, right? When the
Not
Yankees were
even a
winning,
few,
when the Yankees were winning all those championships, and they were getting
It's
Alex
okay
Rodriguez, and they were getting Mark Teixeira, and they were getting all these guys.
it was okay then because they're the evil empire.
Nobody was saying anything, right?
And people, I think people are losing their mind because we just won the World Series and we've been the number one active team getting stacked. And again, you guys, there comes pressure with that, and a lot of it has to rely on guys to stay healthy. Tyler Glasnow has not been known to stay healthy. Blake has also had his issues. Clayton Kershaw has had issues. Mookie just got his hand broken last year. Shohei, you pray that he's going to be okay after his shoulder surgery.
And then his hand.
Freddie's foot. There is a lot of variables.
Max Muncy.
Yeah, guys. No. This isn't something that, yes, do we wish to just start the World Series in a couple of weeks? Absolutely.
Well, it's like Andrew said. He wanted to spend now. That way, in the trade deadline, he says it's not out of the question, but they rather spend now, and hopefully they stay healthy enough that he doesn't have to spend or trade or whatever he needs to do to acquire somebody to help us out, because God forbid, we lost a bunch of pitchers. We'll see.
And it happened last year, and we were blessed to get Jack and for Yama to step up, and here we are now, World's Champions 2024. Heading into 2025 with the same expectations, if not even higher. Oh, yeah. I don't know how much higher you can go than wanting to win a World Series, but maybe a three-peat, the first three-peat.
There hasn't been a back-to-back champion out
since the Yankees in 2000, I think. Yeah. We want to be better than that. We want a three-peat, whatever it is.
Oh!
But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? Is it fair? Is it good for the game? Is it bad for the game? I think it's exciting. Because one, as a Dodger fan, I love the shit talking that we get to do now. But it's also hard to back up that shit talking if we lose. Because a couple years ago, we got upset by the Padres. We got upset by the D-backs. That can happen. Baseball is the one sport where anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
All these guys can be healthy, and it could just be a bad damn week, and we're going to get swept. Mookie and Freddie can go 1 for 22 again, and we're screwed. Shohei can give up a couple home. Again, the stats, the paper that we have, the roster that we have on paper says World Series, says back to back. But we gotta put up this shit up.
EA Sports says that we're winning
multiple championships,
5 in a row. Yeah, but that's in the video game.
And MLB The Show. They got us. Yeah, they got a dynasty already.
Like you said, Dodgers just turned off salary mode.
It is
off,
and that's what we're allowed to do. And our last topic, guys, and this one has me torn a little bit, is the way international players are being handled. And I know me and him just had a talk before we came on live.
I don't agree with him.
International players are a little bit different in that they're allowed to sign with whatever team of their choosing. Now, the only difference is if they're 26 and older, you're not considered a minor league contract eligible. So you sign the Yamamoto for 12 years, $325, I believe it was. He's 26 and older. Whereas of the Roki Sasaki deal, he's 23. So he's considered, most he can get is whatever value that you have for your international signing. So I think it's like $10-12 million. We signed him for 6.5. Now, this is where everybody was saying, oh, this is unfair. This is BS. Why do, the Dodgers just get richer? Is that Roki chose the Dodgers and he was kind of stringing along other teams like the Blue Jays or the Padres. And again, we've already said it wasn't stringing along. He heard everybody's pitch.
I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead and finish.
But
I'll give mine.
Short story, or to get to my point, I think there should be a draft for international signing. And my reason behind this is we have a draft for college guys. And I use the example, Paul Skeens, which he's going to be an ace in this league for years to come. He won a national championship at LSU. Do you think Paul Skeens would have chosen to go play for the Pittsburgh Pirates? Or do you think he would have said, hey, I want to go play with Shohei. I want to go play with Clayton Kershaw. I want to go play with Mookie. Who do you think Paul Skeens would have chose if he had the ability to choose his own team? I don't think it's fair in the way that we treat international players. Oh, you get to pick your team. You're just going to be treated differently depending on your age.
And here's what I think we are different because, again, if it wasn't because of Roki, if Roki wasn't here, Roki hasn't been here, and the international has been around for a while. Mm-hmm. But nobody's made a big deal about it because there hasn't been a guy like Roki Sasaki available.
Shohei.
Yeah, but that was what, 8 years ago. Okay,
and the reason why Shohei didn't sign with the Dodgers back then is because we didn't have a DH role in the National League yet. Keep that in mind, guys. If we had a DH back then, I'm sure he would have been with us those previous 6 years. Would he not?
He probably would have. Okay. But again, that's my point. I don't think people are making they weren't making a big deal out about it last year because there was no Roki Sasaki last year. And this year, in all fairness to Ohtani, when Ohtani came over, Ohtani was a big deal.
Big deal. The Japanese Babe Ruth is what they call it.
It wasn't established yet. They weren't sure.
It was
going to be an experiment because not a lot of teams wanted a pitcher and a batter.
Now they do. I bet you they do.
Now they do.
I bet you they do.
But when Shohei came up, not a lot of teams were like, oh, you know what? I want a hitter and I want a pitcher. Now, if we go back in time, yes, probably everybody's going to want him. Mm-hmm. This year, Sasaki has been teasing MLB for over 2 years now. Last year, in the World Baseball Classic, he teased them more, and everybody was salivating. We want to get this guy. We want to get this guy. And I see your point. Yes, maybe there should be a draft. I think
it's only fair. And if you don't think there should be a draft, then don't have a draft for guys that are coming out of college.
But then that kind of ruins up for. Then it's just the guys that are tanking again. Then we go back to the teams that are tanking, like the Pirates, like the White Sox. Not that they're tanking intentionally, but now they're gonna get all these guys on the cheap.
But it's only for 6 years because.
It's 6 years,
and that's essentially what Shohei did. He had to suffer those 6 years,
and that's what that's what I don't agree. That's what I don't agree because now you're kind of awarding those cheap organizations with top talent. Like let's say this year, who got the number 1 pick this year? Was it whoever it was? Let's just say, for example, it was the White Sox. Let's just say the White Sox.
It might be.
The White Sox got the number 1 draft pick, whoever it was. And now they get the number 1 international draft pick, which is Roki Sasaki.
But if you want to be competitive, and again, this is the only reason why.
And they're not competitive.
You don't know that yet, though, because you're allowing international players to pick where they want to play. And I get it. It's great for me as a fan.
No, but then you get those guys, like let's say the Marlins. The Marlins have a boatload of talent.
Right.
What do they do with it?
Trade it away.
So what? So all they're gonna do is
I'm just trying to
get to where they're at, and then they trade everybody away.
I'm trying to make it as fair as possible.
That's not fair.
In a way, it is because again, it brings me back.
Why
wouldn't we allow to sign Paul Skeens? Why does he have to go through a draft? Why do college guys have to go through a draft? Because it's always been like that. We need to change the way international. Because especially now that the Dodgers are labeled as the number 1 Japanese landing spot.
Now here's where maybe we can agree. Maybe they should have a draft lottery.
Which is
where because right now they don't.
No. But I mean, yes, and this is what NBA did. So the NBA before it used to just be worst record. Yeah. I'm not saying worst record. No. I'm just saying, hey, if you're in the bottom like 5 teams, worst record, you're gonna have X amount of ping pong balls to choose from, and you're gonna have a percentage.
And you should spend in order to get those balls, or else.
And again,
you get balls taken away.
You need to have a minimum, a cap minimum, I don't know how many guys I've talked to. There's a lot of ex-players that I've coached that text me like, "Oh, the Dodgers are cheating." They're like, "No, we're not cheating. We just got a lot of money." And James is my number 1 baseball guy. This kid loves and breathes Diamondback baseball. but he's so pissed off that the Dodgers just got away with all. It's not getting away. Your owner chooses not to spend money.
How you get away if everybody knows about it?
Your owner chooses not to pay. Your owner is trying to sue Phoenix because they don't want to help him rebuild.
Because nobody goes to the stadium. Nobody goes to the freaking stadium. There's no support.
And again,
but I don't want to get into that.
No, it's the same thing. It's not just the Diamondbacks. It's the White Sox. It's all those lower market teams.
They're not lower market teams. Let's not go there. The White Sox are not a lower market team. They live in Chicago.
Right.
Chicago. It's Chicago.
You choose not to spend.
Yeah.
You choose not to spend.
Jerry Rice, is he still the owner?
I don't even know.
Is he still the owner? Who knows who the hell the owner is?
I know they don't want somebody to be the owner. So
but man, it's the White Sox. The White Sox were competitive a while back.
They were. I think,
and now they just completely stink it up. The D-backs.
How do you go from the World Series?
Arizona. I mean, I love Phoenix. I love Phoenix.
We're natives, kind of.
Okay.
Kind of.
I love Phoenix, but like what irks me is that these guys are like, oh, we're the fastest growing. Well, if you're the fastest growing city, how come you don't want to try? $299 for season tickets here.
That's
$299 to go see all 82 games.
I would buy 6 tickets.
Does anybody go?
No, not at all. Not at all. But when the Dodgers come to town,
boom,
jack the prices up. Yankees are in town.
Boom.
Yeah. And again, that's what owners are doing. They're okay with doing the bare minimum. And then when all the good teams like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Padres even, because the Padres do have a couple household names like Manny Machado and Tatis, that's when you guys, that's when you make your money. That's what allows you guys to stay afloat. But don't be mad at the Dodgers because we have money. We have so much money, guys. We're going through renovations right now in the stadium as we speak. We're redoing the whole damn clubhouse, not only for the home team, but for the visitors too, because we feel bad for you guys. Because you guys probably have a clubhouse like Major League, and we want you guys to feel like real MLB players that one weekend that you're in LA.
3 days, you're like, damn.
That is how much money the Dodgers have. That not only are we spending on contracts, but guess what, mother effers? We're rebuilding the damn stadium. And we're hopefully going to bid for the All-Star game in 2028 and 2029.
Stadium. Third oldest stadium. And you ask players, and they're going to say Dodger Stadium, one of the most beautiful stadiums they have.
Yeah.
They play with.
Again, guys. You let us know.
Just saying.
It's been great talking to you. It's been great being back. We have so much fun.
Spring training right around the corner. We're like 18 days away.
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks away. Fan Fest, February 1st. We're about 8 days away, 9 days away. I'm going to go. I'll be out there. Let's go.
We'll be out there for opening day for sure. Don't care if I'm standing or if I have a seat. I will be there. I just want to watch the ring ceremony. I want to see the cool jerseys that they're going to give out for winning the World Series. And yeah, man, as always, we're going to try to stay on top of things. This year, a little bit better. There was no contract disputes. That's not why we stopped filming last season. It was just bad time management on our part. We're hoping to bring a lot of content, a lot of fun this year. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. As always, let's go Dodgers.
Let's go!
Thank you, guys.